Greetings, ladies and gents. Thank you for joining me on this third day of griping on the 25 Days, 25 Gripes mini-series, in which we skew annoying-ass people and their annoying-ass habits. Today we're taking a look at astrology signs, and how they breed yet another bland and basic subspecies of human. I am your host, Mr. P. Just in case you guys haven't been following, on the first episode we covered iced coffee drinkers and just Starbucks customers in general who want you to know that they're okay with paying $10 for nonsense in a cup. And we also covered last episode nicknames and how people such as Robert somehow get to be known as Trey. Which still pisses me off, by the way. It's like, you're not fucking Bono or Cher, you're Robert. But I digress. Astrology signs are actually one of those subjects that are still fresher in my mind because of Halloween season just passing, which is usually when the voodoo mob comes out most. And I feel like slowly throughout the years it's just gotten more out of hand. Because I always used to remember astrology signs as like an interesting description that may or may not line up with certain traits of your personality. And of course, all it takes is a few gullible people over time to inflate the concept to what it is now. And listen, I grew up in a fairly Catholic household. Don't worry, I was never touched by a priest or my head doesn't turn at a 360-degree angle or anything. I'm more agnostic now than anything, so I can understand having beliefs that aren't deemed conventional by most people. However, and these aren't the only group of people that do this, obviously, but somehow taking their astrological sign and thinking that not only are they essentially a walking hologram that transcends space and time, but also using all traits of their respective signs, positive or negative, to justify their behavior. Oh, I'm sorry that I just cracked your ribs. I'm an Aries and sometimes my temper can just get out of hand. No, Veronica, it sounds like you're just an asshole and you're hiding behind astrology to justify your shitty actions. Or another one is when people say, I'm an empath. I just sense things. I felt your energy change and a shift in the room 2 minutes and 38 seconds ago. What do you think, you're a fucking Vishnu god? That change in energy in the room was because I farted 10 seconds before you made that dumbass comment about being all-seeing. Or the amount of times that I roll my eyes whenever I hear people say things like, the universe will manifest positive energy and exfoliate toxic vibes from your soul. It hurt me physically to even say that, by the way. Over in the comment section, let me know if I left out any other cringy words that people say. And then, of course, you get fools who base their dating lives on decisions like, I'm a Libra and she's a Scorpio. OMG, toxic together. Again, it just sounds like you're giving yourself a pass for the red flags that you're inevitably dealing with, or you're just excusing parts of your personality that you refuse to deal with as it is altogether. One time in this philosophy class that I had, the professor had our astrology signs written down since our birthdays were just on the roster list. Which I know, by the way, what a pervert. Who does that? But he handed us papers with descriptions, personality descriptions, under our respective signs that we were given. But the descriptions were vague, but at the same time, they were somehow descriptive enough about your personality. So, for instance, wants to help others but won't be pushed around, just a loyal person, etc., etc. But the descriptions were essentially a combination of vagueness and specification to where you're actually believing that the description reflects your sign. And it wasn't until that our professor said, psych bitch, this description is just some excerpt from a shitty website. He didn't actually say it like that, but you know what I mean. That the faces started to like drop and it all started to come together for some people. So overall, I do think there's a balance to be found between astrology as a hobby or a subject to read up on, and then thinking that just because you're a Leo, you can shrink heads, or that you're a witch doctor, or that you're just spooky and you're not to be messed with because you stir your incense in a pot with a witch cauldron. Because frankly, that's bullshit. I really hope you guys enjoy the content. Please join me tomorrow where we cover Spotify playlists and how it's somehow a trend to share the fact that you listen to music. Remember, there's always something to gripe about. And as always, if you're liking what I'm spewing, please like and subscribe.